There is a level of cynicism that I think those of us in the West, many of us, have to confront when we encounter a movement of people like the Gulen movement, because they are very committed to what they do and they live deeply from their values. I have asked them, hundreds of them, what draws you to this movement? How did you get involved in this movement? And for many of them, they wanted their children to go to the best schools. And the best schools that were academically going to be the ones that prepared their children were the schools started by Gulen people. But what kept them in the movement was this vision of living their own lives in such a way that there's meaning and value and happiness from that, but also making a difference in the world, making the world a safe place for everyone, including their own children. And I felt really confronted on a personal level, not just as a professional, but personally I felt confronted by it because I realized that I myself had become cynical and didn't really believe that people could operate and live in the world from those types of clean motives.
The movement is known as the Hizmet movement, after the Turkish word for service, and also the Gulen movement, after its inspiration Fethullah Gulen.
He is a person who helps me put my life on a solid foundation in terms of making meaning in my life, in terms of having this serenity of my heart as to why I live, what my life serves.
There are so many things that you have to do, but you start losing yourself. So getting together in the sohbet, you restructure all your priorities, and with that, you start feeling human again.
Gulen's followers meet weekly in small groups called sohbets, where they recommit to their values, share ideas, and work on charitable projects.
It can be a scholarship, or it can relate to the Ramadan. We try to help the community, we try to help the students, we try to help the poor.
This is not about individual enlightenment. This is about making the world a better place. But while I'm making the world a better place, at the same time, this altruism is also transformative.
Actually, his most important message is, of course, that work hard, make money, use that money to invest in things that will help the people improve their lives, and that's education, that's hospitals, health services, that's also solidarity associations and foundations that will cater to the needs of the poor.
The exchange of ideas and beliefs with people of other faiths and cultures is a cornerstone of Gulen's teaching. To increase dialogue and friendship between Muslims, Jews, and Christians, Gulen reached out to Sephardi Chief Rabbi Bakshi Doron of Israel, as well as Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew I of Constantinople.
Sayın hocamızla birbirimizi çok seviyoruz. Ve eminim ki burada hazır bulunanlardan kimse buna kıskanmıyor.
In recognition of his efforts in interfaith work, the Vatican invited Fethullah Gulen to meet Pope John Paul II.
Biz böyle yan yana durduğumuz zaman bazı kimseleri tanıma imkanını bulacağız. Biz hepimiz de belki bir dönemde böyle tek taraflı, sadece kendi düşüncemizi iltizam, kendi cephemizi iltizam ve karşı tarafı ademe mahkum etme, ne olursa olsun onları silme, süpürme, atma gibi mülahazalarla. Öyle bir kültür ortamında yetiştik. Belki o günlere mahsus olmak üzere hissiyatımızı ifade ederken feveranlarımız da oldu. Üslup hatalarımız oldu. Ama dünyanın akıbeti böyle çok kötüye doğru kaydığı bir dönemde. Şimdi bunları daha iyi fark ediyoruz. Bunlara meydan vermemek lazım.
After 9/11, interfaith dialogue and tolerance became very fashionable in the world for understandable reasons. But the Gulen movement began interfaith dialogue and tolerance in the 90s, way before 9/11, way before it was really fashionable, because it's in the core of their teaching.
In addition to raising money for interfaith activities in schools, the movement now owns a think tank, a book publisher, a television station, and Zaman, the newspaper with the highest circulation in Turkey. Partly because of the movement's success, Fethullah Gulen is as reviled by some as he is revered by others. In Turkey, his critics have expressed concern that he will bring Sharia law. He has also been accused of conspiring with everyone from the CIA to Zionists and Catholics.
There are so many people following the footsteps in moral sense of Fethullah Gulen, but they also have a political power, and they also have the power to build up networks. Now, what about if these people go into the bureaucracy and have a kind of their own hierarchy within the bureaucracy? So, some people would say, this is a state within a state, maybe.
Some people of Turkish society, they are afraid from that. They said, we don't know what will they do. Yes, they are praying, they are doing something on the educational side, on the trade side, commercial side, but we don't know what